Well, hey everybody, Jonathan Doyle with you once again. Welcome to the Daily Podcast. Hope you're doing well wherever you are listening in the world. I'm just going to jump straight in. Please make sure you've subscribed. If you like what you hear, if it's helpful, then please make sure you've subscribed. There should be a link floating around here to book a free 30-minute coaching call with me. If you want to work on your business, some other area of your life, something that's important to you, and you could use some encouragement, daily motivation from me personally, go and book that free 30-minute Zoom call anywhere in the world. Today, I'm going to jump straight in. I want to talk to you about what I call the voice of retardation and homeostasis. Retardation is a word we don't tend to use very often these days, but for something to be retarded, it means to be held back in its development, that its normal growth curve has been held back. And homeostasis, of course, refers to the ancient Greek principle homeostasis. It means that the kind of process by which something is held in its exact place. In the human body, homeostasis refers to kind of the fact that in general, left to itself, our body tries to hold a regular heartbeat, regular blood pressure. Can you imagine if our heart rate kind of screamed around and jumped different 50 points here, 30 points there? So there's this kind of process by which our body is always trying to keep things the same. So I want to put these two things together. This force that holds us back, this retarding force, and this force that tries to keep us the same. It seems to be a very common human experience that growth and radical change do not seem to come very simply and easily in our lives. And I'm becoming aware that if you listen carefully to your inner dialogue, depending on your individual personality, I'm very clear that all of us have different personal psychology. Some of us are optimists, some of us are realists, but in general, we all have different psychology. But if you start to really listen to this inner dialogue, you can often hear something that's either doing trying to hold you back, retarding your development, or something that's trying to keep you exactly where you are. So what I've begun to learn is that growth and development in our lives comes from getting really good at recognizing that inner voice. How many times have I said this to you guys? That I spent most of my life thinking that inner voice was on our side. It is not on our side a lot of the time. Our brains evolved to do one thing and one thing only, and that's to keep us alive and happy. It's about 5 a.m. here. I'm going to get out of the studio in a minute, and I'm going to go and run for probably about 2 hours. Can I tell you the truth? The truth is that sometimes I really don't enjoy it. It's dark. It rained the whole of yesterday. I think it's due to rain this morning. It's dark. It's probably raining. And, I did a run the other day where 2 days before I'd run a half marathon. So I went out to do more. I went out to half marathons, 21K. I did that on a Tuesday. It was a Thursday, and I ran out to do, I wanted to do 35K, which I did. But can I tell you something? I walked out my front door. I got past my letterbox. I took literally the first step, and I was in pain. Pain on both sides of my body, running up through both legs, through my pelvis, into my lower back. And what it was inflammation. It was sort of inflammation from the previous day. So the very first step that I took was painful. The very last step that I took was painful. And I know some of you are listening going, Jonathan, this is abuse. This is terrible. Why do you do this to yourself? Your body's trying to send you a message. Yeah, your body's always trying to send you a message. Most of the time, the message that it's trying to send is get a bag of potato chips and go and watch Netflix. That's the message that our body and mind likes to send us most of the time. Why? Because it's into self-preservation. It's into homeostasis at best, and it's into retardation at worst. The retarding force is more interesting. I personally think it's more diabolical. I know I've got a diverse listenership here, but I think you'll all know what I mean when I say that there are two forces existing in the universe, one that wants to see us grow, develop, and serve, and one that wants to send us backwards. And that voice plays out in our inner psyche. It plays out in our whole life journey. So today I want you to start listening for either the voice of retardation or the voice of homeostasis. Those two forces are powerful, powerful forces that shape our destiny, and really to change them, what you have to simply do is get really good at noticing them in the moment. So I woke up this morning around 4-ish, came into the studio, And as I said, everything's kind of like, oh, how good would it be just to go and cook bacon? Just bacon. Just to go and cook some bacon and just lie down, read a book. But it's not going to happen because I got one life, and there's a lot of good stuff to do, and I want to keep on top of these things and keep growing and developing so I can live fully. All right, my friends, that's it for me today. Get good at listening to that voice. Do the opposite of what it says most of the time. And, of course, there's always times for rest, recovery. There's times where you need a break. Totally do that. I do that myself. Recovery is a huge part of growth. But that's not what I'm getting at today. You know what I'm getting at. I'm getting at that other force that wants to hold you back and stop you growing and developing. All right, please make sure you're subscribed. Go and grab that free 30-minute coaching call. There should be a link on the podcast app somewhere. If you can't find it, just email me, jonathan@jonathandoyle.co.co. God bless you, everybody. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been the Daily Podcast. You and I are going to talk again tomorrow.